35-year-old Marvin Smith, being waved into our house by a decoy, said he and his girlfriend wanted to have sex with a girl who told them she was a 15-year-old virgin.
Come on in.
Online, he calls himself Southwest Georgia Male Yes. His chat is one of the most graphic and disturbing we've come across. At first, he offers the decoy, Erin Lynn B., $250. When she asks, "Why do you want to give me money?" he says, "'Cause I want you." Then he tells her about another girl he met online.
She was 15 like you. Her mom was at work.
Okay.
She invited me over. Had never had sex.
Oh.
Her and her friend.
He goes on to say that the two girls performed oral sex on him, and then he describes in detail how he claims to have taken one of the girls' virginity. And he doesn't stop there. After he sends pornography, he then introduces the decoy to a woman who calls herself Phyllis, his girlfriend, and says she wants to be there with us. Phyllis then apparently gets on the computer herself and starts chatting with Erin Lynn B. and explains how it would work. She says her boyfriend would have sex with both of us. As he's doing one of us, he would want us to play with each other. This man with the incredibly vulgar chat reveals something that, ironically, no longer surprises us.
I was a minister in the church.
What church you go to?
My dad is a preacher in the Baptist church. I want to go to prison.
It also turns out he's married and worried about his wife finding out.
Mr. Gary.
Yes. What is that?
But lose everything I got.
Do what?
I'm gonna lose everything I have, Mr. Gary.
And who were you here to meet?
She said me, Sarah.
Sarah. And how old is Sarah?
She was young.
Young. How young?
Pretty young.
Pretty young as in what age?
15.
15. What is a 27-year-old man doing at a home trying to meet a 15-year-old girl who is alone?
It is not right.
Then why did you do it?
I shouldn't do that.
I mean, help me to understand what you were thinking about here.
I was bored.
What do you think would have happened if you had come in here and there really was a 15-year-old girl? What would have happened?
I don't know.
Well, I can tell you what it sounds like was going to happen. I don't want to have any problem, you know. Kissing is okay.
Yeah. And I...
But you also say, in the next breath, have you ever seen a blank, meaning penis?
Mm-hmm.
I have on the internet, she says. Then you say, so do you want to see mine? Do you want a sex movie? She says, do you have those too? You say, I don't have, but I can borrow one. And then you say to her, don't say anything to anybody that I'm coming. It sure seems like you knew what you were talking about here, and you knew what you wanted from this 15-year-old girl.
I don't want to have sex, but...
Well, what is that? What do you mean you don't want to have sex? You talk about... No, it's not just kissing. You talk about showing her your penis.
This was really the first time where we saw a number of guys raise religion as a defense. When I confront them, they say, well, I really wasn't going to go through with this because of my religious nature.
I don't do that again.
You won't do it again?
No. This is first.
This is your first time?
Yeah, against my religion.
It's against your religion?
Today I choose to come here or not, so I decided to come, but I shouldn't have come.
But why did you? If you're so religious, if you knew it was so wrong, why did you walk into this house?
I don't know.
I'm Chris Hansen, and I'm a reporter for Dateline NBC. It's a news show. And we're doing a story on computer predators.
He's 23-year-old Nathan Downhour. He says he's a student at an evangelical university. And what does he plan to do with Katie Did Sings? His chat log is quite explicit.
My hands will travel down your smooth body till we reach your pants. Here we will remove your pants and underwear, revealing your beautiful nude body.
And like so many of the other potential predators, his chat turns too X-rated for network television. And now he's in our living room.
I don't know if I'd really be able to go through with it.
But you walked in the door.
And as I read some of what he said online, he doesn't sound like a man who plans to back out.
You get into very graphic detail about what you want to do to her.
Fantasies dreamed up online or in your mind. Things you might not be able to willingly do when it comes down to it.
I will gently cup and massage your soft breasts, kiss them, and run my tongue along them. And it goes on from there, in graphic detail. What are we to make of this?
I'm not sure. I don't know what the law says about this.
Well, it's illegal.
But nothing has happened yet.
Well, I know. But it's illegal for someone to use the internet to solicit somebody who's 13 for sex.
That I was unaware of.
Why did you come here in the first place?
To see a 13-year-old girl in that house.
What they've already told Dateline is eye-opening. Now wait until you hear what they reveal to detectives. Remember Green-Eyed 121, the 23-year-old who typed a detailed description about having sex with a 13-year-old? Remember, he's a student at an evangelical Christian college.
I couldn't stop thinking about it. What would happen if I got caught? I was caught.
Sheriff's deputies find a box of condoms in his car, but he tells the detective they just happened to be there.
Have you ever had sex before?
No.
Never. So you have a box of condoms with you. You've never had sex before. The whole plan was to have sex with this 13-year-old when you got here, correct?
That was the original plan.
Okay. He's 32-year-old Christopher Xavier Cannon, here to meet a 15-year-old virgin. At least that's what he was told. Turns out he's a media director at his church, a volunteer position working with young teens, which makes his sexually explicit online chat all the more disturbing. Using the screen name Xavier01, he asks the girl if she's ever had an orgasm. The decoy says, "I don't think so," and Xavier01 says, "Good." Then he asks her,
"Do you want to be on top or bottom?"
I'm not sure. Which is better?
We'll have to see where you fit best, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I see. I think I know.
Or we can do doggy style.
Sorry, if I don't put this stuff in the washer right away, it just wrinkles. But I made some sweet tea, so just make yourself a glass.
Can I use your restroom?
Why don't you have a seat real quick?
Oh, yeah, I know what this is. I know what this was. I just went to test it, that's all.
Okay, noted, sir.
Thanks. I knew what it was.
What do you think it was?
Nothing.
He heads out the door, right into the arms of the Harris County Sheriff's Department.
Hey! Stop! Stop! Get down on the ground! Get down on the ground! Get down on the ground! Get down!
I knew what it was. I knew what it was. I wasn't doing anything.
It's funny. When I saw this on Dateline a few months ago, or whenever.
You show up in the middle of it.
Yes. I'm like, that is so sick. Why did I do this?
The investigator reminds him he'd been chatting online with the decoy for more than a week, and many times the chat turned sexual.
I mean, just playing around with her, but my intention wasn't to do it. I even wanted to reject it.
Yeah, but you drove 115 miles.
I know. I kept saying to myself, why am I coming out here? What are you doing? What are you doing? Turn around, turn around. Trust me, I wanted to turn around.
Help me understand, because I'm kind of lost when you say that you didn't want to come, but you're here.
Part of me was like, they were just turn around. And part of me was like, it's the first weekend you had to yourself. Just go out there, hang out a little bit. Don't do anything silly.
Well, why would you even have a sexual conversation with a 15-year-old?
I really tried to avoid her when I first met her. Every time I get online, she initiate the conversation.
You said you didn't initiate the conversation, but actually you did. She never talked to you. You said hello, Natalie, because you saw her in a chat room.
Yeah.
And how are you doing today? That was the first initiation on your part.
Yeah, the initiate. Yeah, just chatted.
You asked her if she's horny now, and then you asked her if she's wet now. Why would you care if a 15-year-old is wet?
Stupidity, man. I mean, I don't know why. It's just.
When you tell her you'll be gentle, what are you referring to when you're talking about being gentle?
Just being with her. Nothing sexually touching her and all that.
Chris,
Please.
we've been doing this too long.
Yeah, just.
I understand y'all go through this.
I just saw you do the sign of the cross, so I know you're probably a religious man.
I'm about to.
And you would probably feel better if you.
If it never happened.
Yeah.
Get on the ground.
This man also realizes it wasn't a good idea. He's the religious 22-year-old who said he was conflicted about meeting a 14-year-old after a sexually graphic online chat.
I've been in a, I'm not gonna say a mental struggle, but I'm still a virgin and I've been having trouble. I have met girls before, but I haven't done anything. I couldn't, just because of my spirituality, and I didn't solely deep down. I didn't have any intentions to do anything. I've been able to talk the way I've talked, and this is my punishment.